gone to South End to interview a lovely lady. Her name is Doris. This lady is an inspiration in so many people's lives. So that's why we came here, for her to tell us what is her secret in keeping on and going on and praising the Lord and being an inspiration to most of us. Okay? Good. So, Doris.
Yes.
I remember meeting you at South End Church.
Yes.
I came to preach at South End Church.
Yes.
And I sang a song at South End Church.
Yes.
And after finishing, you said to me, "Come here."
I wanted your sermon.
Yeah, you wanted it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you wanted. You said, "Come here."
Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
There was about 3 pages.
Yes, it was.
Oh, that's right.
You remember, innit? Yeah.
It's come back.
Yeah. Right. What I want to find out from you, when did you become an Adventist?
1946.
1946.
Yes.
When were you born?
I was born 2nd of April 1915.
1915.
No.
So, how did you become an Adventist?
Well, very interesting. I was married to my first husband then, and in those days, when you paid your rent for your house, the rent collector came round for it.
Ah.
See, so we started talking, you know, and we used to have a little paper that was called Present Truth.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Wallace eventually gave me this paper to read, and I used to enjoy reading it.
So this this paper then, the magazine that you were receiving.
Yes. Well, I'm coming to that, you see, because he'd been giving me that. This was when my husband was alive, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have these conversations with him on the door. When I found he was something to do with the church, he didn't come to me and say, "Oh, I'm the organist, I'm blah, blah, blah." I had no idea. But anyway, he used to bring that little paper, and I met an old friend of mine, and we started going dancing. So where before I would talk to Mr. Wallace about spiritual things, now I'm telling him all the different gentlemen I'm meeting at the dances. And he said to me one day, he said, "Do you still want me to give you that paper?" I said, "Oh, yes, of course I do." Anyway, as I said, I went back dancing, and before that, I got caught up with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I went down to Bristol with them, and it just didn't click. You see, when I think about it, he was probably praying about it because he knew I was going down there, so I didn't click with him. But anyway, so now instead of me talking spiritual things to him, I'm telling him the different people that I'm meeting at the dances. And
who was this one?
this is still the red man.
The rent man.
This is still the red man, yes.
Ah. So he was always coming here.
Well, he had to come to collect the rent every week.
Yeah.
That's what they used to do, you see. But as I say, he didn't start by saying, "Oh, I'm the organist, blah, blah, blah." He just did all he can to help me. And lovely man. And he was the organist, a wonderful organist as well. Used to play by ear.
At church?
Yes, at church, yes.
And he kept on giving you these magazines?
Yes, this Present Truth.
Oh, the Present Truth, yes.
Yes, and that's influenced me a lot. But you see, I used to go, as a child, there's a little church in the next street, right at the top of the next street. I went to Sunday school every Sunday by myself. My parents didn't go to church. And I loved it. I used to go in the morning, in the afternoon. But when I left school at 14, I didn't go anywhere until I went to the Adventist church. And one day I was sitting in this room and I heard a mighty rushing wind and something touched me. And I didn't know how long I slept there. I passed out, and when I came to, tears were streaming down my face. But the marvellous feeling was wonderful. That was my moment of conversion. And he'd been encouraging me to go up to the meetings. And one night I was on the bus and I thought, hey, that's funny, you don't go dancing anymore. Hey, that's funny, you don't go to pictures anymore. And that's what happened. I just went up to church with my little boy.
So he invited you to come to church?
Oh, he'd been trying to do that all along, you see. Because we always used to have these spiritual conversations until I went back into the world.
Yeah.
But looking back, there's no doubt about it, he was praying very hard for me, you see. And I don't know who was more amazed when I was only 2 months at this church and I asked for baptism.
Yeah. So tell me the first day you went to church. Which church did you go to?
The same church.
The same Southern church?
Yes.
The first day, what happened on the first day? Did you just decide that, oh, today I'm going after all these invitations or something like that?
Oh, yes. I don't know, I just went out there. But, by the way, it wasn't a tremendous welcome I got. In fact, it was an elderly lady that took an interest in me. And if it wasn't for her. And so after that I just kept going. And I say eventually I became a colporteur.
So when you went to church, did you see this man who was giving you
Yes, because he was the organist. But they never told me he was the organist. But when he sat down and played, it was just fantastic. I could picture the scenes of the words he was playing in the hymn. Now he was a wonderful organist, but he was a wonderful man, and he was the one responsible for bringing me to know the Lord as I did. And of course now it's a completely different type of life altogether. You know, like Saturdays was my best day for shopping, my best night for dancing. My whole life has completely changed.
So how was it then trying to stop some of those things like going for dancing on Saturday and shopping? How did you?
No problem at all. Just everything sort of fell into place for Saturday.